understand who the fuck I am on this US land. I let my hair grow, then I cut it off. Put a couple lines in it, cause you know I'm never coming soft. I do a lot of shows and I get a lot of stares. I got a lot of haters, but really who cares?
Love me some Starvin' Artist. Thank you to Dupree, the Starvin' Artist, for that intro. Guys, welcome to episode 3 of Mitch Please. Here we go again. Again, thank you to everybody for the feedback, for the comments, for the likes, for the shares of episode 2 with Robin Valentine. It's very much appreciated, guys. That interview meant a lot to me, so I really do appreciate you for listening to that. And guys, this week, we're going to take a whole turn in a different direction. We're going to talk to one of the Chico comedy scene's most popular, most hilarious, and just awesome guy, Don Ashby. We're going to cut over to that interview here shortly. I really want to address something that I've probably been needing to address for a while. I've had a lot of people ask me the same question over the last 6 months, and that's Mitch, are you wrestling still? No, why not? You're not wrestling. You're not in PCW. What's going on? What happened? And if you were at Work Farm Wars in Oroville on November 21st, 2015, you saw me get stripped of the PCW heavyweight title, and that was my last. That was the last time I was in a wrestling ring. It's been. It was a 9.5 year just journey. I hate that word, but I'm going to use it. Guys, here's what basically happened. I'm going to break this down. As best I can. This is going to be hard to get out, but I'm going to get this out. I feel like I need to get this out. And like I said, hopefully answer these questions that people have been asking. So here's the deal. I have never really taken a break from the wrestling world, from the NorCal wrestling world, from Pro Championship Wrestling in particular. And I really started to feel burnt out in January of 2015 after I had after I put over, actually, I don't consider it a loss, although it goes down in the record books, of course, as a loss, but basically was able to put over Patrick Abbott and Will Roberts, the Real Dealers, for the PCW Tag Team Championships. Was able to be a part of that. And I was kind of at a point where I was okay if that was my last match. I just was burnt out. I was feeling it. And then I started working a lot with Donovan Troi. And Donovan Troi is an absolute blast. What a character. I mean, if you know him, you know he's just something else. And I love him to death. And at the time, beginning to work with him, it really invigorated me. A lot of people were praising the stuff we were doing. Donovan's fantastic and brought a lot out in me, and I hope I did the same for him. So I would continue on the path of Pro Championship Wrestling, working with Rick Luxury and Donovan, and having a great time. So I was starting to get it back. I was starting to get that passion back. I didn't want to stop. And then the Sonny was entered into my life. Went to WrestleMania. Oh, gotta talk about that. Going to WrestleMania with Donovan Troi. Again, just reigniting that flame, man. Going to WrestleMania. And of course, and meeting Sonny and talking to Sonny, Tamara, Lynn, Sytch, who would become my girlfriend, who I would move out to Pennsylvania and live with for a month, which was insanity. And perhaps I'll go into that at a different time. But coming home from that, leaving her, breaking her heart, some would say, and leaving Tamara, and coming back to Northern California and coming back to Pro Championship Wrestling, I really felt like I never left, because I never forgot. I didn't care what was going on. I'll never forget, never have, never will, about Pro Championship Wrestling. So when I came back and I did a birthday party for Paul Priest and his young son, it was his 18th birthday, and we had a great birthday party show for him at the Work Farm. I wrestled Patrick Abbott once again, and I kind of snapped at Donovan in the locker room, and I just kind of I was burnt out again. I was just not feeling it. I didn't want to be a part of the whole, NorCal kind of scene. I just didn't want to. So I was ready to be done. And we had basically decided that I would wrestle Zack, Mr. Primetime, for the PCW heavyweight title in September. This is 2015 and Off the Chain. And I was looking at that as, all right, that's... to main event the Municipal Auditorium with Zack was a huge goal, and something that really, really meant a lot to me. So I was looking at that as that might be it. That might be it for a while. Take a break, and it was even part of the storyline. The storyline was, if I don't win, I'm quitting. I'm leaving. So what happened was I wrestled the Classic Connection, Buddy Royal and Levi Shapiro, one of the greatest tag teams I've ever seen in any wrestling promotion. I wrestled them in a handicap match, and we had a great match. We had a fun time, a lot of improv. Crowd was really into it, cheering me as a babyface, which is crazy. Never had happened at that point. I knew being in the ring with amazing heels like the Classic Connection, I knew that was going to happen though. But that night it was decided that I was going to win the PCW heavyweight title come September at Off the Chain at the Municipal over Primetime, which to me, once I got that news, it again reignited that flame, reinvigorated this guy right here, reinvigorated the Heartbreaker Mitch Valentine. I was ready. I was like, you want to put the title on me? Well, it's about damn time. I've been waiting for this for almost 10 years. I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to run with it. And so I was pumped, and I still didn't believe it was going to happen until it actually happened. And it's one of the greatest nights of my life, to that match with Zack and that moment of holding that PCW Heavyweight Wrestling Championship that I've seen so many great performers hold. Only 8 others at that point. I was only the 9th guy in almost 20 years to hold that belt, to have the prestige, the opportunity, the honor, the respect, and the faith in some of in me to do that. So it meant a lot. I was revamped once again. But here's the thing, guys. I'm going to be straight up with you. November 14th, 2015, defending that title in Reading against Zack. Another a good match, a fun match, a great time, and then there was the after party. And bottom line is, without going into too much detail, and it's not necessary, but the fact is, I drank too much alcohol, and that is on me. So that was my wrongdoing, and I've had issues with alcohol. I'll be open and upfront with you guys. I've had my issues with alcohol over the years, and I like to think I'm in control of it now, but that night I was not in control of it. I was having too good a time, and the bottom line was I wasn't in control of myself, and I allowed myself to basically hurt myself and fall on the concrete and smash this right shoulder. 2012 I had separated my left shoulder wrestling in Modesto at the Fat Cat. In 2015, 3 years later of overcompensating and still bumping and still wrestling, and then finally the straw that broke the alcoholic camel's back was that night at the Showboat, the after party in Reading, falling and busting my shoulder due to we'll say extenuating circumstances. Wasn't 100% my fault, but I mean, I'll take 90% of it, and that's what happened. And the bottom line is, talking to some of the promoters and some of the guys that have been in pro championship wrestling for a long time, we all came to the decision that it's time for me to step away for a little bit and take a break and focus on Jesse Cole Mitchell, focus on myself, and let the Heartbreaker Mitch Valentine take a little break, because he deserves it, number one, and I needed it, and I did, and maybe I still do. I'm not sure when I'll be back wrestling again, but I just wanted to lay that all on you guys. It's 10 minutes long here, but this is what needed to happen. I wanted to get this out, so that's the fact about that. I'm very excited, actually, to announce this. Before we get into this interview with Don Ashby, I want to announce that my trainer, Mr. Primetime, MPT, Zack Reeb, he will be my next guest on Mitch Please. So I'll have more information on that after we cut to this interview, guys. Again, switching gears here, we're gonna cut over to this interview with Don Ashby. It's a great interview. Don is a hilarious guy, a very intelligent guy, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this interview with the man, Don Ashby. So here we are, fresh off the beeline in a very awkward back alley with a barbed wire fence. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 3 of Mitch Please. I'm very proud to introduce my guest. He is the one and only from the Chico comedy scene, Don Ashby. Don, welcome to Mitch Please.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. You're one of my favorite comedians that I've seen here in Chico. I remember seeing you, it was about 2 years ago. Now, I got to ask you, man, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Fairbanks, Alaska. North Pole, Alaska. But I after a short stint in Zimbabwe, Africa, I ended up in California. And it's just kind of been stuck here ever since, but it's not a bad thing.
No, you're serious. You were in Zimbabwe. That's where.
Yeah. Harare, Zimbabwe. My family planned on retiring and moving there, and so I spent some time there. And then we realized it's not a place for white Americans to be. It was it was in social disorder. Mugabe's this dictator president. And I'm walking around as this 19-year-old white boy with long hair and an earring and a skateboard. They did not like me. Racism is rampant over there. It works both ways.
Oh my gosh, man, this is hilarious right here. So how old were you when you ended up in California?
I was just about 20.
As a motorcycle passes us here we are right behind the Studio Inn, guys. We're getting ready for an open mic tonight here at the Studio Inn. So you were 20 years old. So you spent your whole life up until 20 years old in Zimbabwe?
In North Pole, Alaska, and then I was in Zimbabwe for about half a year. And then ended up in Modesto, California, of all places. I'm in Chico now. That's better.
Yeah, okay, now I got you. Okay, so Alaska is basically where you grew up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, now, so what do you remember as being the first thing that kind of brought you into appreciating the art of stand-up comedy?
I used to listen to Eddie Murphy and Bill Cosby records when I was a kid, and I knew every word to every record.
Records, huh? So not CDs, not tapes.
Well, we had a couple cassette tapes, but we had a few vinyls at that point. Yeah, I was born in 1980, so that's the way people consume music then, and we're going back to that, I guess. Not the tapes, but the records, but. Yeah, it was cool with the comedy records because you had a big thing with art on it, and they just having something that big, especially when you're little, it's huge and tangible, and putting it on is something special. And that was the earliest start with comedy. It is I was into it.
I gotcha. I'm a huge Eddie Murphy fan, man. I grew up watching all those Beverly Hills Cops movies and the Eddie Murphy Raw special. Man, I love Eddie Murphy. So would you consider Eddie Murphy as your first kind of inspiration as far as an entertainer, or who was your inspiration growing up in the entertainment world, or did you have one?
I guess I would have to say the first inspiration growing up as far as entertainment goes was Kurt Cobain. I was just the right age, the right time when grunge hit, when Nirvana hit. I thought I discovered rock and roll for myself at that time. My own music. This is what I like, and part of that translates to comedy.
Sorry to interrupt you, Don. You have a real rock and roll vibe with your whole look, man. The leather jacket, the long hair, the ripped jeans, man. You really, give off a rock and roll vibe. And Kurt Cobain, yeah, man, I can definitely see that. I actually have a Kurt Cobain poster in my room. My roommate just gave it to me, and I'm gonna give it to you, bro.
Right on, man.
That's your payoff for coming on Mitch Please here.
That's awesome, dude.
Besides a free bus ride. So, okay, man. So I got you. So Kurt Cobain was a big influence. Growing up in Alaska, 6 months in Zimbabwe. Then you went to Modesto.
Yeah.
And then when did you first perform stand-up comedy or perform anything live in front of a crowd? How old were you? Where was it? What was it?
Okay, I started performing music as a kid. I learned to play violin when I was, like 7 or 8. Grew up playing music in orchestras. Would do string quartets and stuff like that when I was real young. And then I got a guitar in my hands at about the age of 15 and started playing guitar and writing songs I'm still doing it, but ever since then, so over half my life now. And then I started, doing the coffee house, open mic, singer-songwriter kind of thing for a while.
In Modesto?
Yeah, in Modesto, and then the desert, and definitely in Chico, because this kind of town affords people, like the creative artists, the opportunity to do what they want to do. In this town, there's the places where you can perform. Yeah,
I want to talk about all that, man. What Chico has going on, especially now. But when did you come to Chico, and when did you notice the arts, the comedy, the music? And when was the last time you performed music? I know I'm throwing a lot of questions at you, but I didn't know about your music, so I wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit. When was the last time you performed music? You said you're still writing, and then coming to Chico, did you come in playing music? Did you come in doing comedy, doing both? What was your feelings coming into Chico, and what did you notice as far as the scene?
Okay, so I came into Chico because I really liked the beer that they make here. I was in community college, and I had just, after 21, 22, 23, started learning what good beer was. And I did really well at community college, and I wanted to go to a 4-year, but I knew I had to pay for it myself, so I was looking at affordable schools, and back then Chico was really affordable, and they also made my favorite beer. So I came out, I checked it out, and it was beautiful. There's trees all over. The people here are really cool, and so I decided, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I came out here. I was still playing music at the time. I had just gotten out of a band. And
what's the name of your band?
Moons and Goochers.
I knew it would be something funny too. Nice. So you just got out of a band. You came to Chico. Did you pursue any music here in Chico, or did you get right into the comedy scene?
Well, I kind of just did music as a hobby for a while because I was really dedicated to pursuing my degree and what I thought was going to be chemistry, but it ended up being physics. I've always been like a math and science guy. I love that kind of stuff. And so I'd write songs and perform in my free time. I'd go to the coffee house open mics, and it wasn't until I was living with my roommate Justin Baran, and we would just make each other laugh all the time. And he was a huge lifelong fan of comedy too, and we decided, well, we can do this. We can make each other laugh. Let's make other people laugh. Like I think this is funny. You think it's funny. And then we went to a couple comedy shows and saw some great performers, some great talent. But we also saw people where they were like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Even though I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So when you got to Chico, about what year did you start noticing like the comedy scene, and what places were doing comedy? Because I didn't notice the scene until it was it was my birthday, 2012. We got a motorcycle club going on out here, I guess. But no, 2012, my birthday, December 17th, 2012. I saw Phil from Chico. He headlined the Maltese comedy show. Mark Leathers, I knew him through a mutual friend, and I honestly don't remember if you were there that night. 2012. When did you start in Chico performing comedy?
It's interesting that you mentioned that. I think Phil from Chico and I performed for our first time on the first night. So it was about 5 years ago, I think, about 5 years now, when first time actually getting on stage doing comedy.
How'd that go, man, your first night?
Actually, my first set was good. I had practiced and gone to, I had rehearsed it in a microphone with people, done writing sessions about it, and I just showed up. It was good that I showed up late to this open mic at the Maltese that Steve Swim was running at the time. I showed up late, and I walked in the door, and I was nervous. But they're like, "Oh, you're on stage right now." So I didn't have time to think or freak out. I just had to get up and go, and it crushed. It was a good set, and I got that reward right out of the gate performing, which is good because it doesn't always go that way. Usually it doesn't. I just lucked out.
Did you have things writ great grammar there? No, did you have things prepared? Like how long had you been writing material at that time? Like, did you have a lot of stuff in the back of your mind, maybe in a notebook that you were ready to perform?
Well, I definitely had a notebook, and I had written and rewritten that set for about a month and a half, working over and over, going over it, and trying to just understand how to do comedy. The very first time I got on stage, it was at this comedy club, and there's nobody there. It was a comedy class, and it was just a writing workshop. And I thought, oh yeah, I could do all these jokes, these things I wrote in my notebook, and I get up there on a microphone and just can't say a word. You get up there and blank. There's just people looking at you, and then the longer it's quiet, the more it feeds the insecurities that you already have. And that was nerve-wracking. So people say it's hard. I agree. It's not easy to get up there and just start talking and getting an audience to engage with you.
It's the hardest thing I've ever attempted to do, man. I've done professional wrestling, acting, karaoke stuff and whatever, but man, grabbing a microphone and trying to be funny is the hardest thing in the world I've ever personally done, and I know it's just got to be one of the hardest things to do. And so when you first started, Don, you said about 5 years ago, so it was about 2011?
Yeah, about 2011. Is when I started, and I met a lot of these other comedians that are still around. Some have left, but we all kind of started at the same time, so we have a similar story. We have that history with each other, which is kind of really cool.
That's what I was going to ask you. When you first started, who are the people that you kind of looked, that you kind of leaned on and talked with and picked the brains of, as far as getting better? Now we have an ambulance. This is going great. This is going great. So who are the people back then that helped you as far as bringing out the creativeness in your mind and bouncing ideas off of? Who were those people back 5 years ago?
Okay, well, John Ross for one, huge player. He told us that we can do it and helped us write together. Will Craig, Justin Baran, Justin Bryant, Phil from Chico, Jason Murray, Mark Leathers for sure.
Mark Leathers is awesome. I'm going to have him on Mitch Please here down the line. He's an amazing performer. And Phil from Chico, man, blowing up. He goes to New York City. He's performing every night. Now I hear he's got a Netflix special he's going to film here in Chico.
Yeah.
Man, and I think you're next, man, because I'm telling you, to me, what I've seen, and a lot of my friends that I've brought to shows and stuff, they really say, man, Don Ashby is freaking hilarious and out of his mind. When did you start to really feel that you had something, and you were really starting to you know what I mean, wet your lips and get real excited and know that you had something that a lot of people don't have?
Well, to be honest, I'm still working on that. It was about 2 years ago when I started kind of finding my voice, what I want to talk about. I mean, you have to spend a lot of time going through like toilet humor and simple jokes before you really start digging into yourself and trying to find provocative humor and stuff that you think is really interesting and funny. And it affords you the opportunity to be honest and real with people for a minute. And I would say, yeah, I'm still figuring it out, but I've gotten better at it over the last 2 years. So about 3 years of kind of playing around and trying to figure out who you are and what you want to say. And that's okay. It's one of those things that takes a while to figure out if you're going to do this, who are you going to be doing this? I don't think it's something that you get out of the gate. And I think it's important that you spend time figuring that out, because it's important to you in the time and thought and maturity and energy and everything. It's a growth. It's like, this is going to sound silly, but it's kind of like going to college. Like, it takes 4 years to earn a degree, and you have to be studying and working hard the whole time. And you're not good at calculus the first day of class. But if you keep working at it, you start figuring out how to do it. But it's different because it's like music and any other performance, like art form, where you're also figuring out yourself and what you want to do with what you have the opportunity to do. And yeah, it's so the short answer. A couple years ago, I just started getting there more now, feeling a lot more comfortable and a lot more like I know what I want to say.
Gotcha. Excuse me. Gotcha, man. Definitely. I've definitely seen that the last couple of years, because that's, man, it's been a wild couple of years for Chico. I mean, last year, the first ever Chico Comedy Festival, DNA, I believe, is the head of that, with lots of help from a lot of the Chico comedy scene. And then this year, the second annual Chico Comedy Fest, big, man, big. Now, over the years, have you had the opportunity to travel? And if so, what were some of the more memorable performances out of town, out of Chico, that you've done?
Okay, so there's been a lot of really fun shows I've got to travel and do. I did the Brainwash, which is this little laundromat in San Francisco, and they have like a little cafe in there. Okay. And it's like ridiculous. It's small. There's people doing their laundry and like eating sandwiches, and you're just up there telling jokes like, "Oh, aren't I funny?" And I got booked. I was just visiting at a girlfriend I was seeing at the time, and in San Francisco, and so I went out there and I was just hitting mics, and this guy booked me to play this gig in San Rafael, which is fine. He's like, okay, but I had to hang around for like 2 more weeks, which she liked. I didn't necessarily, but I hung around and I did this show in San Rafael, and it was at this place called the Phoenix Live, and they streamed the shows and everything, which is fine. But the guy that booked me, he saw my set of the Brainwash, and then like about 15 minutes before I'm supposed to go on stage, it tells me, oh, by the way, keep it PG. And I'd never done just an entirely clean set. He wanted me to do 12 clean minutes, and that was rough. I was last minute editing all my word choices, and it showed. It wasn't a great set.
Okay, hold on a second. So that was at the Phoenix, but in San Francisco. But you performed at a laundromat called the Brainwash.
Yeah.
Your material didn't have to be clean there, though.
No, it was just an open mic, so people could do whatever they wanted. It was late at night. This laundromat's open late. And
now, did they hook you up? Did you get to do a free load of clothes and dry?
They gave me a beer. So there's been, for many years, I've just been telling jokes for beers.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think that's going to change very soon. I mean, I honestly believe you are going to be on Comedy Central. I mean, it's just about meeting the right people and getting discovered by and having the right person see you, and it's going to happen, man. And if that's what you want to do, yeah, I mean, you're definitely, I think, one of the most memorable, if nothing else, performers here in Chico. One of the most hilarious guys I've ever seen on stage, and yeah, here we go, man. We're ready for an open mic. Now, we have mics here in Chico every Monday at the Maltese, every Wednesday at the Studio Inn. What would you give an aspiring comic out there? What would you say to them if they want to perform, if they want to become a successful comedian? What would you say?
All right, I got two answers to that. Here's the serious answer first. The serious answer is get on stage at every opportunity that you get. Do it if you can do it every night, do it every night. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you're drunk. Get up there and do it. Think about comedy all the time. Think about what's funny and ask yourself what's really funny. You're writing for yourself. Be true to what you think is funny, because there's going to be other people out there that are going to see that and think that's funny too. And you have to figure out who you are and why you're doing what you do. Don't do what other people are going to think is funny. Do what and work hard at it. If you really care about it and you really want to do comedy, there's a lot of competition. And so you have to, if you talk from personal experience, things you've been through, things you've done, what you really feel and think, that's more interesting. And that's going to make you more unique. Also, talk about things that hurt you. Talk about the things you don't want to talk about to anybody, ever. Talk about the things you're ashamed of. What's your most embarrassing moment? Talk about that. Talk about the things you're most afraid of. Talk about your faults. Talk about the things that we normally never talk about, because this is your chance to do it, and it's going to be more interesting, and it's going to make you. It's going to make you stand out. Talk about trauma and pain. Talk about joys. Talk about... and work hard. Keep writing. Write all the time. Have a notebook. Always write. Write things on your hand. A scrap of paper, a napkin. If you have an idea, write it down, because they disappear. And what we're trying to do is capture what we think is funny ideas that flow through our consciousness, and convey those to other people. The not so serious answer would be, if you've been doing this and it's just not working out, quit. Just don't do it. Don't do it. There's other people who are good and they want stage time, and you're hogging their stage time.
That's what I do. I just quit every time. I've quit like 5 times. But so Don, man, I'll tell you what, one of the most memorable things for me, as I was saying, you're one of the most memorable comics I've seen, was here at the studio. It was a couple months ago. There was this really loud group in the back, and we, as a performer at an open mic, I mean, that's just the worst thing you do, is just, if you're going to talk, go outside, and they're being loud all night, and everyone's dealing with them. And then, of course, everybody knows when Don Ashby goes on, he goes on last, and he goes on, he's on fire when he gets up, and especially if the crowd is not as attentive as they should be. So that night, you decided to get on those guys, and specifically about their mom, and they almost rushed the stage. Explain, how was that? People that were there know what happened, but in your mind, dealing with that, I mean, what was going through your mind dealing with that? And is that the craziest thing that you've ever seen in a comedy show? And if it's not, what is the craziest thing you've ever seen?
All right. So that night, they were being disruptive. I knew that they ruined a lot of other comedian sets, and they didn't care. They weren't there for the show. But if they're gonna ruin the whole night, I was gonna get up there and address it. I'm gonna say something to them, but I'm gonna try to do it in a playful way. I don't know these people at all. No clue. But I'm gonna call you guys in the back, and I'm just freestyling. I have no clue what I'm going to say. And I go to the easy one, like, mom jokes. You guys want to hear some funny mom jokes? I go, yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, dude, standing up right now. You want to hear a mom joke? I saw your mom at a show the other night, and they just ran to the stage. 3 people, 3 dudes, like the father and 2 brothers. They wanted to kill me. Their mom was there, sitting there with them. I didn't know this. I was just trying to steer usually if you jump on somebody and really knock it off, they'll calm down. But these people just responded with aggression. But I was being aggressive. They got more aggressive back, and I had to go, okay. Well, the security guys came up. They kept me from getting clocked in the face. That's cool. And then I did, well, now you got to finish your set. And what jokes do I tell now? That's an awkward moment, you know.
Is that the craziest thing that you've ever had happen to you? And what is the craziest thing that you've either had happen to you or seen happen to somebody else?
Okay, that's not the craziest thing that's... Well, that's probably the craziest thing that's happened to me so far. I've been rushed on stage before, but that night was special. There was a show at a Holiday Inn here in Chico, and there was a heckler. I was on first, and I addressed the heckler, and things went kind of okay, but she was just wouldn't let off and kept heckling every other comedian, and then it ended up with the host himself, you know, basically telling her, like, screw you, we want to watch these comedians, like, who else wants to watch the comedians? And it just ended poorly. Somebody broke a glass, like swiped a glass off a table, and then somebody else saw an opportunity to pretend like they slipped and they fell and got glass in their eye, and then the cops showed up, and the show just went down the drain, and we were never invited back. They reached out to us to start doing shows there, and we just destroyed it, which, that's fine. We don't want to be censored, so...
The cops showed up, man. Yeah, I heard about that over at the Holiday Inn. That's a shame. But you know what? People are going to be jerks, you know, and that's just what you have to deal with as a performer, you know, impromptu live performance, and that's what you do as a comedian. That's what you're one of the best at that I've seen, Don, and I definitely want to get you back on the show here, back on Mitch Please down the line, talk more about the Chico comedy scene, get more of the guys and girls from the Chico comedy scene on the show. But for everyone listening out there, where can they find more out about Don Ashby? I know you're on Twitter, I know you're on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I live in Chico. You can see me any Monday or Wednesday night at the open mics here, and doing showcases all the time. I'm going to be putting out a record soon called No Regrets, spelled K-N-O-W. Regrets.
Yeah, I was there live. That was the show you did at the Blue Room.
Yeah, I recorded about an hour of material that now I'm ditching. I'm putting all that on the shelf, and I'm just trying to write a new hour. Hopefully I'll have that CD together, edited, and ready to go within a month and a half, 2 months. And other than that, I mean, you know, as anything in Chico, man, I'll be there. The Chico comedy scene, get here before the cops show up.
Yeah, show up and bring your mom. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So there you have it. Don Ashby, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't wait to have him back on Mitch Please, and to have more of the Chico comedy scene come on board here and share their story on Mitch Please. And you can find Don Ashby on Facebook. You can find him on Twitter at Don_Ashby, and you can see him every Monday night at the Maltese and every Wednesday night at the studio. Also select shows around Chico and the surrounding areas. That man has a bright future. I'm calling it right now. He is Comedy Central bound. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Mitch Please. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter at HeartbreakerMV. I really am waiting on some questions, guys. I want more questions. I want more feedback. I want to hear from you. I really appreciate everybody that has clicked, that has listened. I don't care if you've only listened for a couple minutes, guys. Thank you. I'm going to continue to do this, and I'm going to continue to get better, and I'm really excited that once again, I just want to remind you guys, next time on Mitch Please, we are going to get in depth, and we are going to talk to my wrestling trainer, Zack Reeb, known to the wrestling world as Mr. Primetime MPT, and I can't wait to talk about his story and have my and it's actually, guys, it's going to be the first conversation that me and Zack have actually had in 6 months. You know, we've texted a lot over these last 6 months, and we've done the Facebook thing, but we actually haven't verbalized We haven't communicated verbally in 6 months. So I told him, I said, let's wait till this microphone's in front of us in the work farm. And we're gonna talk, and we're gonna have a very, very incredible discussion. I can only imagine. Whew. So I cannot wait for that, and I cannot wait for many more episodes of Mitch Please. I am really enjoying doing this, guys, and it could not happen without all of you listening. So thank you very much. And right now we're gonna cut over to a live set of stand-up comedy from our guest this week on Mitch Please. We're cutting over to Don Ashby. Thank you guys very much.
Hi. Oh man. Okay, so you guys, you know that game we play with babies? The one where we exploit their poorly developed psychological construct of object permanence? Peekaboo? You know how that works? There's not much going on behind those bedroom baby eyes, man. Like, fucking babies are fucking morons. No, the reason that works is because you go like this and they actually think you're fucking gone. Right? You go Pika and then boo and they go ah! They're so excited you still exist. And that's how I'm gonna abandon my child. I'm gonna be a Pika dad. I'm just gonna be like Pika, and then I'm gonna fucking bail. Like, there's not gonna be a boo. Just Pika, fucking. I mean, there will be a boo, but that's gonna be like the ghosts that haunt them the rest of their adulthood through abandonment issues. You know? Oh boy. So you know, so you can see some really attractive people in this world. I mean, there's some people that are really beautiful on the outside. That guy right there, for example. But everything inside of us is fucking disgusting. Right? I think we're good out here, and then inside, ew, fucking everything inside of us is gross. Everything that's in it, like blood, semen, snot, shit, vomit, piss, like fucking babies, like everything inside the human body is utterly disgusting. And yet we grow up with these weird nursery rhymes, right? Like like little girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. Like this is not fucking true. No, they're not. What kind of little kids have you been dissecting? Like I never found any of that shit. Look, I was trying to make snickerdoodles. I went over to my neighbor's house to borrow a cup of sugar. Knock on his door. Little daughter answers. I'm like, well, fuck, you'll do it. Lop off her arm. I can't make snickerdoodles out of that. It's just nothing but blood and bones, man. I mean, I tried, but they were gross. All right, I want to tell you guys a really sad story. Two comedians walk into a veterinary clinic to euthanize a sick cat, and it's not funny. It was really sad. It was just a bummer, man. The one thing that was weird about this is like the veterinarian lady that was killing my cat was really hot. Like, that's a weird juxtaposition of emotions. You're like weeping, holding your dear beloved animal, and you're like, hey. Like just snot and like, hey, what are you doing after work? You want to go get a drink and watch me cry and talk about my cat? And like, what am I gonna say to this lady? I mean, I already have a hard enough time working up the nerve to ask a girl I like to ask her for a number. Like, how am I gonna approach this situation? Like, how do I build up the gumption? Do I just like keep bringing cats? Like, just like hit a pillowcase? Hey, lady, I found another one. Like, fucking, I've got long fingernails for some reason. I don't know. And it's fucking expensive to like have your cat like cremated. Oh, okay, there's two options. You can do a private cremation or a mass cremation. Like it's cheaper, but it's a mass cremation. So there's like, what the fuck is that? There's like fucking 9 dead Labradors and your cat thrown on the top. There's just like the world's saddest doggy pile on fire. Like, do they at least stir the fucking ashes? Like that way I'm getting at least 10% my cat. And is that somebody's job? Like some guy like, man, in the morning, he's hit the alarm clock, time to stir the ashes. Like, and he grabs his favorite stirring stick and just goes to it, and he loves his job. He's got long fingernails for some reason. It would have been cheaper just to do it myself. Like, I could have just done like a fucking like Viking cat funeral, just fucking let her on fire, kick her across the creek. Good luck, fucker. Like, or better yet, this would be great. Ding dong ditch, right? Taking to somebody's doorstep, a flaming bag of cat, like, and then run away. Some poor little girl answers the door, has to stomp out this fire. You run up and cut her other arm off. So this comedy thing doesn't work out. My next plan is just fucking be homeless. I don't think I'd be very good at it. I got this like disability. I got like, it's like bum writer's block, right? Like I start with a fresh Sharpie and a cardboard sign and I just fucking blank. I don't know what to write. I end up writing something like stupid, like, if you were me, you'd be home by now. And just like, oh no, that's crap. I crumple it up, throw it into a dumpster next to me, full of a bunch of other crumpled cardboard, false starts. It's the homeless thing. That's perplexing. Like, oh, okay. I saw this guy holding a sign that says, "We'll work for food," on a street corner, and I was touched. Right across the street, there's this kid holding a Little Caesar sign, like $5 pizzas, right? But he just fucking hates his job. He's holding it with attitude, like, nah, this job sucks. And this guy, like, trade signs. Fucking. That other dude's way better at holding signs. He's got a lot of more experience. I'd like to see his resume. It's probably just like a smaller cardboard sign. Like, just stained with tapatio and schizophrenia. Oh. You guys ever like think about killing yourself at really weird moments? Right, that's a dark opening. Like, I get this thing when I'm fucking driving my car. If I'm on a road trip and I'm fucking I'm going like 65 miles an hour, winding roads, 75, and there's this fucking voice that chimes in your head. It's like, boom, jerk the wheel, Don. Right? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, it goes against every basic survival instinct. You know, you're like, fuck you, what? Boom, fucking pussy, do it. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's comforting to know that it would be that simple. Just, and like, but, fuck. It makes me wonder if there's creatures in the animal kingdom that ever find themselves in a similar predicament. Like, are there just birds flying around? And they're like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I don't know why these birds are so depressed. Like an empty nest syndrome, or like, or the cost of birdhousing keeps going up. Maybe it's from spending your formative years having to swallow your mother's vomit. No, that joke never lands right. Always falls flat. Zing. Had to quit smoking pot. Yeah, boo. Yeah. It was just getting too out there, man. Like, my thoughts were getting too weird. I'd take a hit and I'd be like, fuck, man, if bears had thumbs, there'd be more bear film critics. Like, and bear hitchhikers. Like, you ever do that thing where you quit smoking for a while and then you smoke, like, but you have no sense of self-preservation. You're just like, fucking, oh, give it to me, put it in my head. And fucking just bong rips, and then you like way too high. You start hearing shit. And your head's like, gong, 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 and then, pew. What the fuck is that? Pew. Fuck, that's the sound of a lazy laser. Your stone mind's just trying to push it together. You're like, fuck, okay, pew. Similarly, okay, here's the sound of a sad cat. It goes, meow. Here's the sound of a sad cat falling from a window. It goes, meow. Fuck. Oh man, here's the sound of a psychedelic race car being driven by a duck with Tourette's syndrome. You go shroom, shroom, fuck. Stone wong, wong. That mind just keeps going. I gotta make sense of this. We'll put it all together. Okay, here's the sound of a sad cat being hit by a lazy laser that's attached to a psychedelic race car being driven by a duck with Tourette syndrome as they're all falling off a cliff. And it goes, shroom, meow, meow, fuck. And there's a time where you just gotta stop doing drugs. I got a vasectomy recently. Yeah, so fucking, I'm still fertile for like 4 more weeks. So fucking last call, ladies. Yeah. Thank you. Oh. Right? I mean, last chance if you want to make a baby with this. If you want to have like a Johnny Depp with fetal alcohol syndrome looking kid. Now's the time. If you don't know what a vasectomy is, the way a vasectomy works is you go to this place and you lay down on this table and this guy makes this small incision on each side of the scrotal sac, and then he cuts out this little piece of tubing. It's a lot like spaghetti, like same like kind of shape and color and flavor. And then you get out of the back of the guy's van and you go back to work at Walmart. And that's what a vasectomy is. It's all right. It's not terrible.